everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to cover a seated position with one leg out to the side, one knee bent. Okay, and we're going to have some options here with folding forward, twisting, side stretching, and we'll just observe how that impacts the thigh bone hip relationship and how that comes up the spine. Okay, so you might find it helpful to have some props, a blanket, strap, block as a reference, I'll explain that, or maybe even having your mat next to a wall. Okay, so we'll go ahead and scooch back. And here, as soon as we're in a seated position and we extend one or both legs, we're gonna have some challenge to the flexibility, potentially. So you could always sit on the edge of a firm blanket because we just might do some forward folding. I don't know if a strap would be handy in this position, but who knows? So you might as well have it. Anyway, so choose a leg and take it out to the side. And then your other leg, I always do this little adjustment where I draw the calf upward so it's out of the way. And just notice, how are you sitting? Can you already feel, are you off kilter? Do you need to bring the leg a little bit less out to the side? Do you need to elevate the seat? Do you need to tilt back? So there's all kinds of things right from the get-go. And then if you feel like, okay, you're sitting fairly evenly across your seat, do you already feel a stretch and is it near a joint? Okay, so that starts to inform us about the position. What muscles do we need to pay a special attention to engage? Okay, so for me, here I'm sitting, feel like I'm sitting pretty evenly. The work is asymmetrical, right? So, because the two legs are doing different things, all right? But I'm still trying to find a sense of a continuous line so that energy is not hindered at the ankle, knee, hip, spine, okay? So I start out with my hands back behind, the foot flexed and active. I imagine that my foot is up at a wall, okay? And then just try to bring that energy up, okay? So center line of the foot, still continues, if I could speak, up the center of the ankle, the knee, the hip. When we're seated, our muscles tend to check out. So I'm really trying to remind them to engage appropriately, to engage effectively, so that my knee is centered, coming up toward the hip joint, my thigh bone is nice and secure, in the hip joint, and lengthen the spine. I had to think about the different names for the joints. Okay, head of the arm bones back, slight tuck of the chin, just to take some of that tension out of the neck and then lengthen. So right here, there might already be a lot of work in just trying to sit tall, okay? So breathe into this, maybe explore, okay, coming forward into some sort of a hinge. I like to give that counter resistance, inner, outer thigh, okay? Seeking length, still seeking that sense of sitting evenly across the seat. As I'm hinging forward, I can feel my body wanting to veer this way toward the bent knee, and I'm resisting that, okay? Sending that thigh bone down, lengthening, lifting the spine, lifting up out of the hips, coming forward, okay? So that's an option, and just noticing the different challenges, right, to your awareness. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch sides, and this time exploring more of a side stretch, okay? So one leg out to the side, the other one, the calf, just getting it out of the way. Now, as I come into this side stretch, I really want a twist to precede it. I want to twist away from the leg so I can get the best side stretch possible. Okay, so again, foot up at an imaginary resistance, bringing energy up, centering the knee, grounding the thigh bone, lengthening, noticing the impact, okay, of when I twist away from my straight leg, how does that impact the thigh bone hip relationship? So a block can tell you, so I'm putting it back behind me here, okay, trying to have it feel like it's even, okay, as far as the way it's connecting with my body. And then as I twist toward the bent knee, how much is my other hip seat, okay, coming away from that block? That tells me. So that's where being up at a wall could be helpful. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for that sense of no pinch in the hip joint. okay, sense of freedom, yet engagement. So I'm just twisting away from it, and as I lengthen and twist, I keep drawing that thigh bone back into the hip joint. And then from here I feel, okay, I'm ready for my side stretch. So I'm going to anchor my arm against my leg, counter resistance, and then reaching up. Here again, I can feel a shift, okay, across my seat as I challenge this and do asymmetrical work with the legs. So I still want the seamless lines, okay, coming up my legs, up the spine, and I don't want it to be hindered at my hips. I might keep my arm here, here. I'm really just trying to stay aware and feel a sense of openness up the back body. Okay, so there's that, right? So I twist it away to get the side stretch. There's also twisting toward the extended leg, and still I'm trying to maintain a healthy relationship, thigh bones and hips, lengthen the spine. So now I'm going to carefully twist this way, and for every amount that I think about twisting, I want to lengthen first. Lengthen, then twist, lengthen, then twist. Maybe add, and this is where you could use a strap, okay, in your forward fold. I'm probably not going to go that far because I'm really wanting to maintain space in the joints, appropriate effort in the muscles, and I can feel all these challenges to it. So I don't want to get caught up in the idea of depth, okay, because I'm going to actually feel a higher quality stretch the more I focus on length and space, okay, toning, engagement. I don't want to feel that anything stops the flow near any joint. So I'm constantly checking in with that. Every time I add a movement, I check in again. Okay, am I still engaged from the feet up? Do I resemble, does my pose in any way resemble staff pose? Okay, mountain pose, the standing position. I'm always checking in with that, and it's really important as we come into positions where each leg is doing something different, because that challenges our awareness, okay? So seated poses are so much harder than it seems like they should be, but they are. They just are. They're harder to keep the muscles engaged, harder on our flexibility. Okay, so there's all these challenges, and at the same time, they're an opportunity to really turn inward, where we don't have to worry as much about our balance, you know, as far as falling over to the side. There's less risk there, but that means there's more challenge to stay aware. So I hope that this gave you some helpful tools, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.